long time no see. I don't know if you noticed, but I was hibernating because it's very cold. It's very cold in Japan, so in the winter I don't do much. I didn't even go out. I didn't go see any of the nice matsuri, or I only went to the illumination in Nagashima, which is in Mie Prefecture. So yeah, I'm not a winter person. I hate winter. I hate it. But I'm back and I'm here to do a new video. But first, I would like to give a little thanks to Chillin' Kansai for the shout out in his video about female YouTubers, which I do admit there are not very many of. I try to follow as many as I can, but you know, he gave me lots of new people that I didn't know about, so I'm making my rounds. It takes me a long time because I'm like a snail, but I plan on checking out all of those channels, and I would like to say thank you for those who subscribed after seeing his video. I hope I do not disappoint you. I don't want to. So, yeah, other than that, yeah, thank you, Chillin' Kansai. I hope you're doing well. Hope your winter went well. Hope your classes are going well. So, anyway, today's video is about this. Check this out. I look like I'm rolling, right? These aren't point cards. These aren't credit cards. These are cards for clinics. Going to the clinic. These are all cards. Oh wait, and my, oops, I had my insurance card in there. Sorry. Yeah, these are all cards for going to the clinic in Japan. Every time you go to a clinic, you get a special card so that they can keep track of your information, which while is very helpful when trying to find someone's information, I don't see how just giving them a name and having them look up the name is, well, I don't know, maybe people like collecting cards, so that's why they do it. But I wanted to give a little insight. Well, I don't know if it's really insight. I just want to tell you about my experience with hospitals and clinics in Japan, because as you can see, I've gone to many. I have been to a lot. So, and I went recently. That's why I decided to do this video, because I went to the hospital quite recently. Nothing serious. I wasn't dying this time, so that's good. How should I start this? Going to the clinic is relatively easy. I've gone once without insurance when I was visiting Shota a while ago, many years ago, in 2009, however many years ago that is. Almost 4 years ago? So I went to the clinic then, and I'm pretty sure I still have that card. I went to that clinic because I developed a fever while I was at his house, and I still don't know why I developed a fever. I just did. So his mother, being the awesome lady that she is, took me to the clinic. I think it was on a holiday. It might have been on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. She took me to the clinic. Luckily, they had like an emergency shift open, and I got some medicine, and I was mostly conscious for New Year's. I did sleep for most of New Year's, even New Year's. But yeah, I still have that clinic card. Pretty simple, laminated. It's got the business hours, when they're closed, who runs the clinic, phone numbers, addresses. So, you know, it's handy if you can't remember where you went. And it's got your birthday. They call it a care card. Oh. So, I went to the clinic then. It was about $100 just for them to take my temperature and give me some medicine. But that was without insurance. So they will go see you. I don't know if my mother-in-law had any effect on them, on getting me in there, because she is very insistent. But if you don't have insurance, you will still be seen. It will just cost you more. Since I moved to Japan, I have been enrolled in the national, well, no, I'm not actually under national insurance. I'm under, before I was under my company's insurance plan. Now I'm under Shota's insurance plan. And it goes through his company, but it's still called like the national health insurance thing. I mean, I'm not reading all the kanji because I suck at it. It's like Zen, Kokutsu, something, Hoken. I should know that one. It's on the N2 exam. Scheisse! Oh, God. But it's going through his name because he pays for my part of the insurance out of his paycheck. So I am under his insurance. So when I go to the hospital, when you go to any clinic or hospital in Japan, and if you are under insurance, please bring this little blue card. I hope it's going to show my information. Not like you can really go and impersonate me and get some free healthcare, because it's not free. But yeah, make sure you have this blue card wherever you decide to go. Bring this with you, because otherwise you can bring it later. One time I think I didn't have this yet because I just quit my other job and I was being enrolled under Shota's thing, and I didn't have my card yet, so I did something. Actually, no, I had like a paper version. So yeah, you do need some kind of insurance card, and if you do not have some kind, you will be paying the non-insured rate, which is much higher. For most of my clinic visits, it's usually routine checkups. Usually I develop like some kind of fever. I just need to know what the fever is, get some medicine, and go home. It's usually, if the clinic is not super busy, you can be in and out in like 20 minutes. Like the one that's closest to my house, whose card I should have, but... Oh wait, this is for Mie too! I went to 2 clinics in Mie. I don't remember going to this one though. This one is near my house. This is the popular one near my house. That's the ladies' clinic. This one... Where the heck is this? Rehabili. I don't remember going to this one. Hara no Mura? Is this it? Oh yeah, this is the one that I always go to. This is the one that's really fast. It's like one old guy who works there. It's like a general kind of clinic. They don't specify anything in specific. There are lots of different kinds of clinics in Japan. There's like a bone clinic, you know, your back, your throat, eyes and ears clinic. You know, clinics are kind of categorized depending on where your sickness is. So you go to that clinic. There's ladies' clinics. There are breast clinics for people that want to get mammograms. There are clinics for people who are pregnant, or if you just want to go see an OBGYN, there's a clinic for that. And the OBGYN I saw actually was a guy. I have not seen a female one. I would like to, just cause, but the one clinic that I do have a card for, one ladies' clinic I do have a card for, is a guy. He does speak some amount of English, so that is good, and he was pretty nice. And it wasn't so expensive to go there. I think to get, I was getting checked to make sure I didn't have some kind of cyst, some cancerous cyst. So, and that was only like $60 to get checked and get your blood work done. And I got the results back pretty fast. But I was supposed to go back. I gotta go back. Anyway, so yeah, if you get there and there's not a lot of people, it's usually only, especially if you're going midday like I usually do, or early morning when I usually go, if I wake up with a fever or I wake up feeling under the weather, I usually go in the morning and I can get in and out within about 20 minutes. Last time I went to the hospital, I got a card for the hospital too. I didn't know if I was supposed to give it back. Yeah, I do. It's got my name on it. And medicine. I have too much medicine. Yeah, it's got my name on it. Here's my hospital card. I guess I can use that if I need to go back to the hospital. Just be like, bloop, bloop. Look, I've been here before. I've been sick many times. So, anyway. So much fun talking by yourself to a camera. Yeah, you get a card everywhere you go. You get a card. It's pretty cheap. A general checkup for a fever or something will run you about 2,000 yen. I actually have all of my receipts, because if you collect a certain amount of receipts from going to clinics, you can get some money back from the government. But it's like you have to spend like over Juman. You have to spend over Juman, which is about $1,000. And if you spend over that amount, then what my sister-in-law told me is that you will get some money back from the government. But I think that usually applies to bigger families where many people have to go to the hospitals. With just me and Shota going to the hospital, I think we barely made it to like $700. But that was only because I went to the hospital. That's a separate story for a little bit later. So, God, I need to speak clearly. Sorry if this is a little confusing. General checkup, basic fever things, about 20 bucks. I had to get a medical exam, like a general medical exam, about a year ago. And that was about 30 bucks or something like that. Usually every time I go to the clinic with my insurance, it's about, if it's not anything specific, if it's like general care, just checking to make sure you're not dying of something. Or, you know, just checking your fever, giving you some medicine. The price of the medicine is also included, and it's usually going to run you about 2,000 yen, 3,000 yen, 2,000, 3,000 yen. If you're getting into something a little bit more specific now, it will get a little bit more expensive. All these cards that I've shown you, except for the hospital card, are clinic cards. Now, clinics are... They are what they are. They're clinics. They're pretty small. The facilities are pretty small. They only got usually like 1 or 2 examination rooms, and then, you know, a couple other spots, 1 bathroom. They're very small institutions. If you're getting some serious kinds of sicknesses where you have to go to the hospital, then it will cost a bit more. When I went to this hospital in Osaka this week, it was about 5,000 yen. And that was for a blood test, an IV, and the medicine, and the checkup. Now, I went to that hospital because I woke up vomiting, which is alarming to say the least. And I couldn't figure out why. And so we rushed over to the hospital. Now, they also have like night rates and day rates, which are different. So if you go in the daytime, it'll be a little bit cheaper versus going at night. We went about 5 or 6 a.m., which is still considered nighttime, so that also might be why it was 5,000 yen instead of 2,000 or 3,000 yen. So we went there. There had just been an ambulance had just come in, so we had to do a little waiting. I don't remember much because I was curled up in a ball on the couch, but they took my temperature. She was asking me questions. Shota got mad at the nurses because they were laughing about what I had eaten, because, you know, I assumed it was some kind of stomach virus as well because I was throwing up all over the place. And they were like, oh, what did you eat? Did you eat anything abnormal or something that you don't usually eat? And I was like, no, you know, I just ate some canned tuna and some ramen. And apparently that's really funny because, you know, everyone should be eating those balanced, healthy meals full of all the vegetables that apparently everyone should have time to make, but we don't. That's why we eat canned tuna and ramen. But anyway, forget those ladies. They shouldn't have been laughing because that's not very polite and that's not how you should be behaving at a hospital. But I probably won't be going back there anyway. So, yeah, anyway, I saw the doctor. She took some blood. The lady who was taking my blood was not doing a good job. I've gotten my blood taken many times in Japan now. And that one time, I could feel it in my hand. She was up here in my forearm, but I could feel it in my hand, like the sharp pain. So she was hitting something that she was not supposed to be hitting. And I was writhing in pain. But they got the IV in. They took my blood. They gave me some all they gave me was like anti-throwing up medicine after they gave me the IV. And they were like, all right, go home. You don't have anything, so... Apparently, I just ate some bad canned tuna, I guess. So I took the anti-throwing up medicine, and then Shota went to a separate clinic and got some fever medication and some sleep aid. And I took that, and I passed out for the rest of the day. And I woke up feeling great! That does not sound like how that's supposed to happen, but that is what happened. The other time that I did go to the hospital was very similar stomach, intestinal virus. I don't know what it is about Japan, but I seem to get that a lot here. But that's also living in a country different from where you were raised, so you're obviously exposed to different kinds of bacteria within the food that you have not been exposed to before and that your body's not used to, so I can understand why that would happen. But seriously, why does it keep happening? Like, nobody else I know that's moved to Japan or that's been living here seems to have so many stomach troubles. But, you know, apparently I do. Every year or so, I get a huge stomach virus thing. So, about 2 years ago, I was actually hospitalized because of a stomach virus. The norovirus, I think it is, that I got. I think I got it from eating some yakiniku that was not cooked well. And that time I was hospitalized for a week. I didn't go to a hospital in Osaka because I was freaking out because when I first gotten sick, you know, I had like a normal fever. Actually, when I had this virus, I didn't really have any vomiting, so I was like, oh, I must just have like a cold or something. It's just a fever. So, you know, I had a fever, but then I had a fever for like 2 days running, and the fever kept getting higher. So I was like getting really delirious, and I was losing a lot of water because I was so hot. And even though I kept eating things, I wasn't digesting it properly. Like, it would all just come back out the other way. So, you know, I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I felt nauseous half the time. I felt weak. So I called my mother-in-law, and she took me to her hospital where she works, which is in Nara Prefecture. So I went there, and, you know, the weird thing is, like, when I first got the fever, 2 days before I called my mother-in-law, I went to a clinic. They gave me some medicine. They were like, oh, you're just, you know, you got like a little cold, take this. They gave me an IV because I told them I felt weak. If you tell them you feel weak, they will give you an IV. Like, you don't even really have to be sick. Just be like, oh, I don't feel good. And they'll be like, hey, do you want an IV? And they'll give you an IV. And so I went to the clinic the 2 days before, and I didn't get better. And that's when I called my mother-in-law, and I went to the hospital. So I get to the hospital, and the lady is like, oh, wow. Yeah, your body is not digesting food, so you can't eat anything. So you're going to have to stay in the hospital for a week while we fix your stomach. Yeah. So for that week, I was living off of an IV. That's how I got my food and my medicine, which sucks. That sucks so bad. Like, I've never wanted to eat so bad in my whole life. Like, that sucked. And, like, you couldn't drink at the same time that you got your IV, I think. It was like, after the IV, then you could drink, I think. I don't remember. It was almost 2 years ago now. So, that whole experience, staying in the hospital for a week, you know, getting the IV for a week. For the first part of the week, I had my own room because they weren't sure if I was contagious and if it was going to spread. Because, you know, there's a lot of crazy bugs that'll get, if they start spreading in the hospital, it can become really bad. So, I had my own room for a week, you know, the IV, everything, the checkups, all that stuff included. It was about 80,000 yen. So it's about $800, maybe over $800. But, I mean, that doesn't sound that bad for a week in the hospital with all the bells and whistles, blood tests, and everything attached to that. So, even if you have to go to the hospital, even if you have to be hospitalized, it might not run you so much. I would, if you're someone like me who apparently gets sick every year or so, have a nice hospital fund available for yourself just in case you do get sick. And then you can pinch into that. Yeah. That story was shorter than I imagined in my head. Yeah. I went to the hospital for a week. And I came out alive. So be careful what you eat. Be careful when you go to yakiniku. Now I thoroughly cook all my food. Like, I burn it sometimes just to make sure that I'm not going to die. So, yep. That's going to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, you usually get your medicine in these little paper bags. It's got the wrong kanji for my name, but that's okay, whatever. It'll usually tell you how many pieces of the, some people put the picture on it, some don't, some just put the name. It'll tell you how many doses are in it, how often you should take it. Sometimes it'll say how you should take it. another hospital, another clinic. This is not my medicine. This is not my medicine either. This is sort of my medicine. Another place will give you to you in plastic bags like this. The medicine usually comes, especially if it's a pill or tablet form, it comes in the little foil. Sometimes they give you the powdered kind, and it'll have the directions like once a day, twice. Every day, twice a day, before lunch or dinner. Like, it'll have those kinds of instructions on it. It'll have the dosage, and that information is really good if you have a mother who is a nurse and you want to make sure that you're not eating something you have a potential allergen to. What is this? Show that so much medicine. Like, I don't even know. Yeah, that's usually how medicine comes in Japan. And if you're in a big city like Osaka, you can find clinics where they speak some English. It is not always the best English, and sometimes I just stop and just go back to Japanese altogether because it's much faster and less frustrating. But some places do have sufficient English speakers, and some even have English websites. I forget which one of these do. I think the ladies' clinic has English, and I think the one near my house, actually, he speaks some English, but I don't try to stress him out with that. I want him to concentrate on making me better. So, one thing to keep in mind when going to these clinics is just to stay calm, because I have a tendency to freak out because I want my mommy when I go to the clinic, and she's not here. She's many, many miles away. So, stay calm. I don't go by myself. I always make sure to go with me because I'm paranoid. If you can, I would try to get someone to go with you. I know it's really difficult to do. I'll go with you. If you call me, I'll try to go with you if you're in Osaka, because going to the clinic alone is really scary, and when you can't understand anything they're saying, it's even more frustrating and frightening because you don't know what they're saying. I think a lot of companies offer some kind of support, though, when it comes to getting sick. I'm not sure. I've never joined those companies, so I don't know. But yeah, just stay calm. Bring a dictionary or your cell phone with a dictionary. There are English-speaking clinics around, so search for those first if you're really concerned. And if you feel like going after you've been to one clinic, if you still feel sick, or if you think that they did not give you the correct diagnosis, go to another one or go to a hospital. Like, don't sit and try to wait it out, because if I'd have done that when I had my stomach virus 2 years ago, I would have died because my body would have had no more liquids left. Don't wait. If you're still sick, even a day after going to the clinic, go back and say, hey, I'm still sick. What's up? Fix me. So yeah, that's going to the clinic in Japan. I don't know how it's helpful. I ramble a lot, but I tried to keep my thoughts concise. I hope I hit all the important points. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment or you can email me. I know, especially asking questions about lady clinics, nobody wants to ask that in a comment section. Girl, where's your OBGYN, girl? How'd you get your uterus checked out? I mean, I would ask, but no, I wouldn't. I'd ask on Facebook. I would make a Facebook post about it, but I wouldn't write about it in the YouTube comic section. But if you do have questions, feel free to email me. My email is somewhere. I'll put it in the information section. That's the smart thing to do. You can leave a comment. You can do whatever you want. It's your life. You're free to live it how you want. And I'm going to think of another topic to do a video about starting from now. Like right now. I'm thinking about a new one. Oh! If you like, you can check out me and my bandmates. We made our own music video. We thought that would be cool if we could make a music video. But we just did it in the practice studio. So I'm going to do one of those fancy things where they put like a box and be like, click on this box to watch this video. And I'm going to do that like right here. So click on it and watch it.